I've just read uh, 25 tips for picking the right startup name for your new business startup. There are more coming. These came from two blogs, and there's one more to come, but excellent information from Cesare Pietra. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing his name, Cezarypietrzak. He's a New York-based consultant and marketer and growth strategist. He currently teaches marketing at a tech incubator called Q Labs, and he co-founded a travel site called Wonderfly. You can read his thoughts on startup marketing at www.czary.co. Okay, let's get into it. It's some great information, because when you are picking a name for your new business startup, in today's world, it's probably more critical than ever, because of how people get information about your business, the technology that is involved, search engine optimization, and your name. All very important factors. And so to get more people to be able to find your business or learn about your business, let's say, the name choice is extremely important. Then there is the issue of how do you localize that whole thing, because localization in attempting to get information from search engines is perhaps the most important factor happening right now in search. We talked a little bit about it on Friday, and it comes into play even more when picking your name. So let's get into Cesare's stories. Naming can be one of the most difficult challenges in the early stages of startup, he says. But while many people have written about the topic, few have actually codified the process to help entrepreneurs succeed in the endeavor. This guy breaks down. Okay, his first bit of information is he calls the challenge of naming. Naming on the web is difficult because it is a multiple-step process that's a mix of art, science, and pure perseverance. First, you must create a name that is short, ideally 2 syllables, and less than 10 letters. What I chose, I guess, doesn't totally follow in his recommendations. David's Barter, Davidsbarter, 12. I have 12 characters, more than 2 syllables. I have 4 syllables, but we had reasons for picking the name that we did. It must be memorable and relevant to your idea, which they were in our determination as we came up with the name. And in fact, it's worked very well for us, our strategy. If you Google David's Barter or you Bing David's Barter, you get all the information that you need. So not only was it important for us to pick the right words, we had to understand how to let the search engines know that we had the right words. And we've done a very good job on that. You must find a domain that's available. That's an easy thing to do. Given that most good .com names for $10 are already taken, it's likely that you'll spend at least a few $100s on a good name, or risk foregoing some of the best options. buying domain names is is an important aspect of your early decision-making process, and it's kind of interesting how I've done that over the years. It seems like I get an epiphany while I'm sleeping, and I have bought an unbelievable amount of domain names at 2 o'clock in the morning. An idea comes to me, and instead of, and I think of it in terms of, well, it's a good name, and I know it's certainly marketable. I'll rush down to my computer and go to my friendly domain purchase website. For the most part, it's been GoDaddy over the years. I have used other companies, but I find GoDaddy very easy to use, very efficient to use, so we continue doing it. And they've been good. They've been able to capture the names for us. If that's not enough, then you'll probably be naming your company as you juggle dozens of other responsibilities, such as building and testing your product, recruiting new team members, developing your go-to-market strategy. Those are the things you need to do as you're starting your business. So you try to make the domain selection, the name of your business, as simple as it possibly can be. The importance of naming: while the naming process requires a lot of time, patience, and focus, doing it well is ultimately worth the effort. That's because a name has a big impact on your entire business. That's the first thing that people hear, is the name of your business. The name is important for discoverability, whether in Google searches. 10% to 50% of site traffic, depending upon the category, the App Store, especially paid for on iOS 6, and other text-based discovery channels. If it's too hard to spell or too similar to something that already exists, chances are that people won't find you. I should emphasize for a moment that not only did we pick David's Barter as the name, but we very quickly associated that, and I probably bought domain names at the exact same time for Small Biz David. So we had a name of our website community, and then we were building a character and a brand who would build that community with a direct relation to the two. David's Barter, Small Biz David. We did all those things, and as I read this information, it validates decisions that we made along the way. The name is also a conduit to an emotional connection with your users. Good names, like good logos, evoke a strong passion for your brand. And while bad names elicit distaste and indifference, I wanted to name Barter also in our name. I wanted the word barter in our name. Barter is a very strong business aspect, business concept. Now, we don't conduct formal barter in our community. If you want to barter, that's a decision that you make with whomever you're bartering, with whomever you barter. But we don't need information about that barter agreement. That's between you and the other party or parties, as the case might be. Bartering, however, is a very important concept for small business, particularly ones that are starting, because it creates the mindset of small business collaboration. And small business collaboration is at the heart of the new business model that you and I are creating today. I actually had a website. I still own the domain name Small Business Barter Exchange. We were ready to launch a website, smallbusinessbarterexchange.com, and for several reasons it never did get launched, but we kept the name, knowing how important the word barter, the concept of barter is to small business. Pre-naming preparation. Cesare goes on to talk about part of the secret to creating a good name is laying the right groundwork. Before you start naming your company, follow these steps. Okay. Number one, set a goal and deadline. Your goal should be finding a name that is solid and presentable rather than something perfect. Create a Google spreadsheet. Very, very important. This will help you organize and keep track of your ideas in one place. Best of all, everyone can collaborate, there's that word again, on the project in real time if you make that document available, particularly in Google, where you share the document. That's a great place to develop a name. Create a document that you share with other folks and let them comment, let them edit, let them come back. So it's a great tool, and Cesare recognizes it, recommends its use just as we do. Set up a brainstorming session. You eventually do many of the brainstorming sessions, but try to have one, usually the first one, with a larger group of folks. Put your mentors of entrepreneurship into that brainstorming session. Your small business attorney, your small business accountant, be a public accountant or a certified public accountant, a business strategist, a business marketing person, a banker, a business insurance person. Those are the small business technology person. Those are the key players who should be your mentors of entrepreneurship. Mentors of entrepreneurship are a very important concept in David's Barter community. If you want more information about that and to discover the importance, please go to davidsbarter.com/mentors of entrepreneurship. Or actually, you can do it that way, or go to /smallbizDavid. You'll also get information about mentors of entrepreneurship. Research startups with great names. This will help you get inspired and understand what a great name looks and sounds like. To the point of David's Barter, we in fact thought about Angie's List. We in fact thought about Craig's List. Those were names that were chosen very, very smartly, very effectively, and they have created huge brands built around their company name. I see a national television ad for Angie's List. I think I see one every single day. That's how important Angie's List, the name, has become. That's how important Angie's List as a website community has become. So Angie's List, Craig's List, David's Barter. It was in that mindset that we created the name also. Cesare, in the second installment of talking about great names, 16 tips for picking the perfect startup name. He also has, that must be the name of the person, why his small business name why your startup name matters is the article that we just referenced. He refers to that again. Okay. Are you ready for the good stuff he asked? Generating the root word. Number one, develop literal concepts. The first set of roots should be fairly literal and represent a core aspect of your business. Number two, he gives an example, I'll share that. A family act generates words like ancestry, genealogy, lineage, roots, relatives, mothers, parents, storytelling, home, sharing. Develop literal concepts. Point number 2, develop figurative concepts. To move beyond the obvious, extend your list of roots to names, objects, phrases, moments, and feelings that are loosely related to your core business. Examples: names associated with family: fam, bunch, collection, kin. Number 3, look up synonyms. You can easily multiply your output by adding a list of synonyms to the roots you already have developed. Example: family has many synonyms, including ancestors, blood, clan, descendants, folk, kin, lineage, and tribe. And tools to help you establish your synonyms would be Thesaurus. Go to the Thesaurus, ThesaurusCom. Point number 4, list examples and types. Another way to bring a concept to life is through examples and types that describe it. Example: there are several different types of family trees, including redwood, maple, spruce, chestnut, and birch. Number 5, find visual inspiration. Needless to say, a good place for us is the relatively new website Pinterest, which is a very visual concept website. Google also has their image search you can use. Number 6 point, use foreign words. Just make sure you're using the right foreign words. Creating word permutations. Now that you have a robust list of words that are associated with your company, you should create permutations of the root to build a name that is catchy and original. Here are some strategies. Number 1, create compound words. Birchbox, SendGrid, Skillshare, MindWise, TimeShop, DataWorks. Those are all compound words. Number 2, make a portmanteau. French word, meaning combining 2 words by joining shared letters or sounds. A portmanteau requires a lot more creativity and finesse than a single compound word. But when it's well crafted, it rolls off the tongue beautifully. Examples were Pinterest, which is pin, and interest. Mixel, combination of the words mix and pixel. Number 3, add prefixes and suffixes to whatever word you choose. Another very common tactic in creating names is to add prefixes, something before the word, or a suffix, something after the word, to your root. These appendages often will come from Latin or Greek. He uses as examples startups: OnSwipe, InDinero, Altuition, MyCityway, Spotify, Shopify, Rootsie. Those are websites that you may or may not know that have taken root words and added either a prefix before that root word or a suffix, letters or words after that word. Number 4, this is an interesting one, misspell the word. This permutation can be achieved by removing vowels or changing letters in a regular word. Tumblr, Yext, Photopedia, Zynga, Dig, Google, Zoom spelled with an X instead of a Z, Reddit instead of read it, misspell the word. That often can be very, very effective. A 5th thing to think about in creating word permutations is add numbers. Add numbers to your word to make it more interesting. 1,000 memories, 10 gem, lot 18, 37 signals, whatever that number might be. Use clever domain extensions. This is an area that needs a lot of your attention, because ICANN recently made available more extensions of names for your domain, and that warrants a lot of consideration based upon the fact that, well, you could even buy vanity extensions. So that becomes increasingly more difficult. That whole concept. Use get or app. Get as a suffix, as a prefix, get hyphen, or as a suffix, hyphen app, app, to your name, opens up a lot of options for good names. Number 8, write the word backwards. That's an interesting one. Number 9, make something up. A little more difficult to market, but certainly a combination of all these things where you're making up names and prefixes, suffixes, and shortened names, whatever it might be. There's a great field, and you need to be extremely creative. I mentioned several times in this last week how important creativity is to your new business startup. Number 10, browse premium domains. Okay, those are things to be thinking about in the name of your business. Thank you to Cezary Pietrzak. I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing your name, and I should have done a better job of looking up it before I tried to read it. But I recommend you go to his website, www.cezary.co.